We're talking here about past lives, future lives, interlife.
It was a very difficult experience.
Is it possible to experience a life that is buried deep inside our subconscious? A life you lived many years before? Susan O'Leary investigates how past lives can change us and help us to understand who we are and why we are here.
I spoke to Dr. Adrian Finkelstein, who has studied past life therapy for 16 years and who has written several books on past life regression.
I decided to do research. I just got volunteers, many of them, about 700 volunteers, and I spent thousands of hours to verify if it's correct that people lived before.
Dr. Finkelstein told me that people who live with fears and paranoia in this life usually carried those fears and paranoia over from past lives. These people benefit the most from being regressed into past lives. He has a patient who constantly fears being poisoned by her husband in this life. In therapy with Dr. Finkelstein, she was put under hypnosis and taken back into a past life where her problem originated. It was discovered that her husband in her past life abused her physically and mentally. In a rage, he threw her into a well with poisonous water, and she was killed. As a result of the regression into the past life, she gained more insight into why she had such an unrealistic fear of being poisoned in this life. I asked Dr. Finkelstein if the existence of past lives has ever been proven.
There was a little girl that I progressed in my first phases of my work was past life regression.
This little girl was 8 years old, and in this life, Jewish. In her past life, this girl was Catholic, living in Mexico in a small town called Tila. She gave her name as Paula Laborio, and her date of birth, which was January 30th, 1862. She also gave detailed descriptions of how to make tequila and various other aspects that were typical of that era.
I went to Tala, Mexico, and I found in the only church there the baptismal certificate of Paul Laborio, born January 30th, 1862.
I decided to be hypnotized and taken back into a past life by Dr. Finkelstein.
The level of hypnosis may vary from very deep to very superficial.
Well, the first step was to get very relaxed and comfortable. Then Dr. Finkelstein basically walked me through it with his words. There were visual images. I was walking backwards and backwards, and really without even knowing it, I was in a past life.
What is your name? The name that you heard? Steve. Christine. Okay. Now, Christine, I want you to go backward or forward in line to a very important event in your life, Christine. And once you find that event, just tell me what it's all about. First impression that comes to your mind's eye or any of your senses. You're running. You're running where?
Away.
Christine, what makes you run?
Because they're coming after me. Once there, I was able to see and describe details about myself and my circumstances as Christine.
Usually they come to a situation that has connection with the problem they have in their current life.
I was not an outside observer. I was actually feeling the experience and the emotions of Christine. I felt both physical senses of being tired from walking, someone's touch, and I also felt the emotions of crying and laughing.
I'm not discarding conventional treatment, but I'm merely adding a new dimension to it that would broaden the scope.
I think I look at things different now, or at least more closely. I pay attention to gut feelings and deja vu. And if I run into somebody that I think looks familiar or I have a camaraderie with, I think maybe I might have known him before.
talking here about opening a large panorama of so-called past lives, future lives, interlife.
It was a very difficult experience. Actually, it was actually painful and difficult, but in the long run, I think I learned a lot from it, and I'm glad I did it.
Whatever your personal beliefs may be, learning about other beliefs and possibilities is a way to enrich your life. I'm Patrick McNee. Join me next time for more mysteries, magic, and miracles. Wasn't enough proof, another patient settled the controversy.
Had a patient, a 22-year-old woman that came to me with severe depression, and she attempted to kill herself, either by taking an overdose of pills or slashing her wrists.
Dr. Finkelstein asked her to be a volunteer in his research project of past life regression. From the boundaries of the universe to the depth of your soul, embark on a journey through the unknown and unexplained as we explore mysteries, magic, and miracles. Hello and welcome. This is Patrick McNee. Today we'll investigate a modern medical practice that uses experiences from a previous life to find solutions to today's problems. But first, let's see how an ancient art form is helping children to fight a modern-day enemy. But if that case wasn't enough proof, another patient settled the controversy.
Had a patient, a 22-year-old woman that came to me with severe depression, and she attempted to kill herself, either by taking an overdose of pills or slashing her wrists.
Dr. Finkelstein asked her to be a volunteer in his research project of past life regression. Is it possible a lawyer living in Los Angeles today also lived in these mountains of France tending sheep in the 1800s? Well, those who believe in past life regression are connecting the clues between these worlds to find a new tool for psychotherapy.
I was very depressed, and I wanted answers as to why I was attracting the wrong sort of people in my life and why my health was declining.
Only when we realize what causes the obstacles in our lives can we find a solution. And when those problems are buried deep within our subconscious mind, there is now a new way to